What's up, everyone? It is Abhishek here, and this is my take on the Apple Watch Series 5. Let's go! The Apple Watch is a beautiful piece of hardware, but it has grown on me almost like everyone else. It is an accessory which, when it's not on my wrist, I feel like I'm missing something. It's fashion and tech blended together, and people notice when you wear an Apple Watch on your wrist, just like they notice all the other Apple devices, mainly because of its brand value. And there are quite a few band options on this available as well, from Apple itself and third-party manufacturers as well. So yeah, and the casing is also available in quite a few options. I think it's aluminium, stainless steel, titanium, and ceramic. The cheapest being the aluminium and the costliest being the ceramic version. The first Apple Watch wasn't 100% accepted by everyone because it was launched among these beautiful Android watches with nice circular displays. You can take Moto 360 as an example. But tell me, how many of you really remember the Moto 360? The first Apple Watch wasn't perfect, but that quickly turned around when Apple fixed almost everything that was wrong with the first Apple Watch in the second and third generation. It's like everyone was just getting their driver's license and Apple Watch was already participating in these international car races. Apple has refined all the major things to such an extent that it is now focusing on the little things, the little details that can make it stand out from the rest of its competition, and that it is doing really good. Also, being the only company that makes hardware and software for a watch to go along with a phone that only they make, that helps. Now don't get me wrong, there are really great Android watches available as well, like the Samsung Galaxy Active say. But if you have an iPhone and if you're looking to buy a smartwatch, there's nothing else you'd rather go with, right? It's gotta be the Apple Watch. So Apple has added quite a few things to the Series 5, starting with the always-on display, which was, I think, a brilliant addition to the Apple Watch. The screen is always on, which I really like about my watch, that the display should be on when I need to see it, and you don't have to be that person who specifically checks for time in the middle of a conversation and everyone around you gets offended. Now you can just glance at the clock and see that it's 5:21 p.m. The another thing that I really like about the Apple Watch is the addition of ECG app. You can actually put your index finger on the crown and this creates kind of a closed circuit and tracks your ECG, and you can then save it as a PDF, print it out, show it to your doctor. If the heart rate is normal, it shows it as a sinus rhythm, or it can also track AFib, which is atrial fibrillation, which is a serious disorder. The another thing that's really fun is it can track decibels. It can show you the sound levels in your environment, and if it's too noisy, you can probably move out of that area unless it's a club, and yeah, then it should be fine. There's another app that Apple has added for the ladies out there, and I think they should have done it earlier. It helps you track your menstrual cycles. It also has this tiny compass built into the display, which is, I think, really cute, and you can point it in different directions. And it also has this cone of confidence which keeps on getting narrower every time the watch feels confident that it's showing you the right direction. It has all the other smartwatch bells and whistles that it should have, like it shows you the notifications, helps you reply to them, tells you when you receive a call, tracks workouts, and it also has Siri built in. Turn on flashlight, with whom you can talk to without saying the... It also has these activity rings which can help you achieve your daily move goal. And the thing I really like about those is you get these different medals for completing different goals, which make you feel that you have really achieved something and help you get up and get going and just help you move and exercise a little bit. You can also share your activity readings with your friends, track their readings, and keep it as a healthy competition, I guess. Now I have the 40mm version, and because I don't have the biggest wrists. There's another version in 44 millimeters as well. The battery life of the watch is also really good. It's not the best, like there are different watches available which have longer battery lives, like 1 week and more, but they have e-ink displays and this is an OLED display, so I think it's fair enough. I can complete a day with no worries and I still have about 30-40% left on the Apple Watch. Now yesterday, that is on 22nd of June, Apple announced a ton of different features and watchOS 7. So these are the few things that they have said that will be coming to the Apple Watch. Firstly, they have added new watch faces. There's one with the tachymeter or the tachometer, however you want to say it. That's really nice, and a couple others as well. Then another thing that's really fun is there's face sharing. So if you can choose different complications and customize your faces, right? But if you really like a face that say your friend has on his smartwatch, instead of just copying every single adjustment to the complication that he has done, he can actually tap the share button and share that display to your smartwatch. And you can even pick different smartwatch faces right off the websites. They also have added cycling directions built into the Apple Maps on your phone as well as on the watch, so you can do that. To the workout section, they have added another workout for dance and a couple others as well, so that's really nice. The another thing that was really needed, and I would have said that was missing from the Apple Watch, is sleep tracking, which they have finally added in watchOS 7. Now you can set your sleep schedules and on your iPhone and on your Apple Watch as well. And when it's time for your bedtime, the smartphone display is automatically dimmed down and your watch face turns to this very simple one with like a night mode on. And it helps you track your sleep better, and you can then see if you're getting good sleep or just having nightmares, which you can maybe do something about. There's also this hand wash mode, which I think is a little silly. Everyone knows that during this time it's very important to maintain your hygiene and wash your hands. So whenever you start washing your hands with the Apple Watch on, it automatically senses that this person is washing hands, and then turns on this timer of sorts. I think it's a 20-second or so timer, so that you know that you're actually washing your hands for 20 seconds and not less. Now you must be thinking that Apple Watch is really good, but there must be something wrong with it, right? But I don't think so. There's nothing really much wrong with the Apple Watch, except for a few minor things maybe. Like on the Android side of things, Android smartwatches have a little more watch faces compared to the Apple counterpart, because they have third-party developers out there making watch faces, which is not the case in the Apple Watch. And the another thing that's comparatively big, not really, but still, is the app drawer selection menu. Like when you want to search for apps, it's really clumsy. I think that there are these tiny floating bubbles on your screen which you can scroll through and rearrange if needed. But when I really need to find an app, it's really hard to do so using that screen. You can definitely change it to list view, but then again it's too simple. There must be something else that Apple can do with that. So for the final verdict, as the title of the video says, I love my Apple Watch, and if someone decides to buy one, I think they'll end up loving it as well, because it's a really nice piece of hardware and it really blends together with the Apple ecosystem. So if you do have an iPhone and if you want a smartwatch, there's nothing better you can get than the Apple Watch. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. The biggest flaw with the Apple Watch is that you end up not wearing your other traditional watches.